I hope everyone is doing amazing. I am Falya Malik,
And I am Shrishti Saraugi.
members of the alumni cell of the Department of Economics, Indraprasth College for Women, University of Delhi. This interview is the part of an initiative, the MBA Avenue Getting In and Getting Ready, through which the cell aims to help students gain a better insight into the prospective career options and help them become an educated person and make educated decisions.
Today we are in conversation with Ms. Riya Kapoor, a distinguished alumna of the Economics Department of Indraprasth College for Women. Ms. Kapoor is currently pursuing her MBA degree from IIM Indore. She has past experience in working with some prestigious companies like Ernst& Young, Yes Bank, and Britannia. During her time at IP, she was one of the highest achievers of her batch. She has also worked on various projects for Finalytics and Ascent Group India, adding to her list of versatile experience. During her MBA at IIM Indore, she has won awards like the Kudos Award and also been selected for a student exchange program to France. The list of her achievements go on, and our hearts swell with pride when we call her an alumna of our college. We are glad to have her on board to talk about her journey, experience, and share insights about future prospects for students in this field.
Thank you so much for such a warm introduction, guys. Like, I'm really honored to be over here, and it's such a great initiative. So, I just really hope that through my journey, I'm able to inspire or help any student who is listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out time and having this interview with us. So, even though these tough times have shifted the social interactions online, we would still love to know how does it feel to return to your alma mater, even if it is through these means?
Well, honestly, this kind of experience did not exist when I was there in college, and this initiative or alumni cell also did not exist over there. So I'm actually very proud to be a part of IP College because you've like come so far, and the kind of initiatives that you're bringing forward with it is something that I'm really proud of. So I am really looking forward to this, and no matter how the experience is, hopefully, like I'm able to meet you in person as well. But no matter what the situation is, I'm really glad to be on this platform interacting with you people as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and we too wish to meet you very soon in person. So, as you know, that most of us haven't really had the opportunity to attend the classes offline and experience that college life. We would love to know your experience at IP College and how did the college help you develop your persona?
So I'm actually really sad that you guys did not get to experience college as it is, but we know how COVID has been, and I'm so glad that even if the situation has been like that, you people have been able to connect with each other and come forward with such initiatives and all. So I'm really glad about that. If you want to ask about my journey, so my journey was really beautiful. If you would have gone to college, you would have realized that we have one of the best infrastructures available in Delhi University. So I really hope you guys get to see that and experience that. And the one thing that I really miss about college is the energy that we carry. So when I entered college, I was a very shy girl, and I was one of those people who did not think that I could have a voice of my own or I could have an opinion of my own. But honestly, I think that is the beauty of a women's college. Like, we have a very empowering experience, we have a very different experience from other people, and whatever you learn over here is something that you will take forward beyond the classes as well. So I really hope that you guys also are getting such an experience on an online platform, and whenever you get to meet in person, you also experience that. With respect to societies and clubs and committees, like, this is one of the things that I really miss, and I know that online setup must be making it very difficult for you. But if you talk about my journey, I think a lot of political stands, a lot of social initiatives is something that comes from these places. So I really miss the energy that, our dramatic society had, our dance society had, a lot of societies like Enactus had. So that is something that I really miss, and hopefully we'll come back to the normal very soon, and you guys will also experience it. But for now, this experience is what I have for you to share.
That's really amazing. And listening to you, we really feel that we are missing on a lot. However, we wish that we come to college soon.
Yeah.
So, Shrishti will ask you the next question. Okay. So MBA has become a very important career option today. What tips would you like to give to an economics undergraduate who is interested in an MBA course? And since only a few weeks are left for CAT 2021, what would be your words of wisdom for our MBA aspirants?
So, as an economics honors student, I can definitely tell you this, that we are actually a rare breed over here. So, a lot of people do not, from economics, do not join over here. But at the same time, I really want to encourage the students who are listening to me from eco, because we actually are an excellent asset when we come over here. The kind of perspectives that we bring to the table is something not everybody understands, or brings forward with right away. So because an MBA student like embraces diversity so much, this is an ideal place for an economic student to actually come and share their views. Because when we are entering into a managerial role, a subject like economics is so dynamic and it's so helpful for understanding a lot of things about workplace, that it really helps with people around us. So definitely I would encourage the students to step up. Just remember the fact that you have a lot of strengths when you're entering into the corporate world or an MBA environment. So just be very confident about that and do definitely go for it. And with respect to all the MBA and CAT aspirants, this is what I would want to say, that definitely the journey is very stressful. I remember it. First you give the exam, then you give a lot of interviews, then there are a lot of group rounds as well for certain colleges and everything. So the entire process is very stressful, and I completely relate to it. But one thing that I've learned throughout the journey was that, once I was on the other side, once I was done with it, what I realized was that that journey was very helpful in developing the personality that I have today, even if I would have gotten selected or I wouldn't have. So just trust the process, just trust why it exists, and be very confident. Being calm also really helps a lot, because it's a pressure test. At the end of the day, CAT or an MBA journey is a pressure test only. It is for you to develop your personality, your skills, your anything that you want to grow in. So just stay calm, and all the best for all the people who are giving CAT this time. Hope to see you actually in the batch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That I hope that helps all the CAT aspirants. So, what factors led you to switch from economics to management studies? Was it due to your growing interest towards management and the corporate world?
So I wouldn't say that I've actually switched from economics to management, because economics plays a lot of role when it comes to management studies. Like we have specific subjects that actually help us develop a lot of perspectives over here when it comes to management studies. And also, I did not have like a direct like movement from eco to management. So I did work, as you all know, that I did work with Ernst and Young in between. So I think. When it comes to inspiring me for doing management, I think it was through the EY journey only that I had a flavor of management. So while I was working over there, even though like I joined in as an entry level associate, I was already handling the responsibility and of basically managing a lot of stakeholders. And also I was in an employee facing role, so I was dealing with a lot of people right away. So there was no from economics there was no looking back actually. So definitely that is one of the journey that took me over there, and I would actually see that as a smooth transition rather than switching areas.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Getting into one of the big four is a dream for most of us.
Yeah.
We would love to know about your journey at EY. How was the work culture and what special did it offer to you? Was it helpful to have some work experience before starting with your MBA?
All right. So Actually, my journey was very different. Like it was not that easy for me because I had a very different path decided for myself. So I did not go for an ideal consulting or an advisory role, for which EY is actually famous for audit profiles and consulting profiles. I actually wanted to enter the HR domain. So it was not something which was very easy for me to enter because EY or any big four for that matter does not open for such roles right away. Like you have to really research and you have to network a lot and and fill a lot of applications and all to enter such a domain. So it was not a very easy journey, but it was very rewarding one because I got throughout the process. I actually had to apply it off campus, and in that particular process I got to meet a lot of people, I got to network with a lot of people and understand what is the process of getting into that profile. And I honestly am a person of experience, so I really like to try things before I say yes for certain things. So I really wanted to understand what the profile looked inside the country, sorry, I'm so sorry, company. It just went away. Yeah, so what profile looked inside the company and everything before deciding whether I want to get inside it or not. With respect to what the culture looked like, it was an extremely collaborative culture. So I was a part of a team which was surrounded by a diverse set of multiple small teams, and at the same time, I was also working cross-functional with the other teams throughout. The company within HR itself. So it was a very collaborative culture, very interesting. I got to meet a lot of people in the beginning itself, and honestly, a very rewarding experience. And when it comes to the MBA journey, like definitely having a work ex helped me because I got to understand what the backside of companies look like what is the kind of role that I will be looking for when I will be applying to certain companies, what will I have as an expectation. Also, the work ethic which I learned at EY was something that I carried forward in my MBA journey as well. Whatever perspectives I did develop regarding the corporate is something that helps us in learning as well. So it was definitely a rewarding experience, and I would definitely suggest people to understand what they really want to pursue before getting into management studies. So this is a definite path for a person to take.
Thank you so much. It was definitely really insightful. Since IIMs are one of the most premier institutions in our country, most of us are very curious to know what a typical day at IIM looks like.
Okay, that's a very interesting question, but a very difficult one also because honestly, like I don't know how to explain it to you. Even though it should be an ideal answer, like okay, this is what we do and this is what our day looks like. So I think from my journey, this has been the case that every day has been a new day for me. Like right now, also if I tell you, like if I step outside my hostel, right now I'm giving my interview through my hostel room. So if I step outside my hostel, uh, in one corner you'll see like a fest happening, a marketing fest happening probably. On the other side there will be people who will be engaged in B school competitions, so they will be working on that. I enter some other arena and there will be like a gaming thing going on, so whoever is interested in probably gaming and all of the people will join together and follow their interests and all. There will be people who will be doing group projects. So there's no like ideal case or a typical day for me. Like you do get up in the morning, you do take your classes, you do your pre-reads before you go, so that's very normal. But beyond that, after that, you are free to pursue whatever you want. You want to pick up a hobby, you want to play a sport, you can design your day as much as, I mean, the way you want to. Like it's all on you. So whatever you want to do, that is what a typical day at I am Indore looks like.
Your explanation just makes it sound so exciting to be at IIM.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, when I also entered, I was a very confused person. I did not know what to go for because there are so many things happening at the same time. You want to do activities like you want to learn a guitar. That is also possible for you to do that over here. So it just goes beyond the studies that you have. It's definitely a journey towards developing yourself, understanding yourself, your own personality. So that way, it's a beautiful place to be in.
That's great. So, were there any other career options that you speculated before choosing MBA?
Honestly, I had a very like straightforward career, you know, direction to look at. So I really wanted to join the corporate. I wasn't sure of the domain, and I was really interested in HR because of behavioral economics. So that is something that I really wanted to pursue. So I was very adamant that I did want to try HR before I decide to take any of the other career paths and all. However, I understand that when people are in their final years, they are looking at multiple career opportunities and they are very confused in what they want to go for. So this is what my like suggestion or tip would be to people who are looking at multiple career opportunities. Uh, Try and identify what people around you are doing from your own domain. There are people who actually go for things that you don't imagine, like people go for MSc, they go for MBA, but then they start their own thing through a startup also. They go for entrepreneurship as well. And then there are a lot of big avenues such as data analytics, big data, and everything that is coming into the picture, which we were not aware of while we were studying over there. So do a lot of research, try and connect with the right people who have already gone into these particular domains. They will be able to help you with the path that they took. And definitely the networking helps a lot in this particular case, so that you understand multiple perspectives and you identify which place you want to try for, and definitely go for trying. Like, don't think that this is what I want, so this is I will go for. Keep on trying new things, probably take up internships, life projects. They help you to understand whether you belong in a particular domain or not. So definitely these things help a lot.
That is really helpful. But since we are online, how do you feel we could find an appropriate internship or find the right people or right platform to actually network with?
So, when you are on an online platform, a lot of times you'll realize it's that once you're out of college, people take multiple directions. They don't go for one thing. Like for me, the career path was MBA. For somebody else, if it's a startup, what is the idea that they went for, right? Um, However, networking takes effort. Like you need to identify the right kind of people that you want to connect with. LinkedIn is a very beautiful place to actually find the right kind of people. You will identify that a lot of your alums are doing multiple things, so that is one of the places you can connect with them. Secondly, internships are readily available now because a lot of companies are offering this particular mode because they have realized that people don't need to travel for you to work for them, right? So they are offering themselves, they are coming out themselves. It's just on ourselves to actually find the correct opportunities. So that is definitely there. Internships, life projects is something that is readily available on LinkedIn, so I that is my go-to. So but for other people it can be other places as well. I'm not aware of those, but for my go-to it has always been LinkedIn. Apart from that, this is an ideal time for actually skill development as well. So when you do look at other courses or something like that for your own self, you can keep upskilling yourself, and once you have a particular skill set, there will be companies who might want to reach out to you on the basis of that as well. So definitely do not stop learning, do not stop upskilling yourself. If something interests you, even if it's related to your profile or not, just go for it. It doesn't take much time, and it definitely helps you build your skill sets as well.
Thank you. That was very insightful. So, your research work in the past has been very accurate and rigorous. Could you please tell us about your experience while you were researching for Ascent Group India?
Okay. So when I was working for Ascent Group, it was actually an academic project. So I did it under a professor at IIM Indore only. I had taken his elective in market research. So that is why I got this opportunity to do that. And I won't be able to share like much details about it, but I can definitely tell you the methodology that we went with. So our project was very unconventional. We wanted to identify that how the government schemes actually help promote digitization in the rural India. So we wanted to measure if there is any correlation or any sort of factors that actually affect that particular correlation or not. So the idea was with that particular research was that, and we started through our primary research. So we had gotten a lot of information from the company itself. We started with our primary research. We built our own questionnaires. We identified what could be the areas where there could lie correlation in the beginning. We did the research, we got the data. Then after that, we used tools like IBM SPSS in order to do our analysis. So we got to learn about different types of analysis through the process as well. For example, factor or discriminant, conjoint. So these were the things that I was not aware of before I took the course. So and through that particular research, we were able to identify what are the things that actually affect digitization over there, and how can a company using its own resources take forward digitization into rural India and help them as well. So that was the idea of the project, and definitely a very unconventional experience, because this is not something that I would have thought on my own. This was something that was brainstormed after a very long time through the problem statement that was given to us by the company, and it was definitely a very rewarding experience.
Thank you so much. It sounds really interesting. Skills play a very major role when it comes to grabbing any opportunity. What skills should we start working on early in life so that we have a smooth sailing through the journey of MBA? And how to build upon skills like case studies, guesstimates, financial modeling. Also, do you feel the courses which are offered by Coursera, Udemy are worth it?
So I'll start with the Coursera question of yours. So I also have done a lot of courses from Coursera and Udemy. And one thing I've realized is that more than an impact on your CV, there's more an impact on yourself. For example, if when you're going for learning an Excel based course, what you'll realize is that you have learned a lot of skills that are involved in that particular tool. So it's more of personal development than of CV development. And once you start looking at courses on these platforms through that manner, that is something that is going to really help you, because you will be able to upskill yourself really well. Once you do get into a workplace, the kind of work that is thrown onto you is actually it can ask you to do and work on any platform possible. And when you have like such diversity in your skill set, that definitely helps. So anything that interests you, anything that you feel is interesting for you to try to, you should definitely go for it and not look back on those things. When it comes to case studies or guesstimates and all, it's a very domain specific skill. So when you enter the consulting field or when you enter an operations field, this is where you will use these a lot. The reason for that is in these particular fields you will be thrown with a problem statement, and you will have to solve problems, and you will need a structured approach to do that. And case studies and guesstimates are basically a way for you to understand how to build an approach and how do you want to solve it all. So definitely it's a domain specific skill, and if a person is interested in consulting, they should definitely go for it. Financial modeling again helps when you're entering a financial firm. And any skill set that you want to pick on, if you are interested in that particular field, if you are interested in that particular domain, you should definitely go for it. When you do enter MBA anyway tells you a lot of, like in my experience this was the case, that a lot of things I did not know outside of an MBA, which I got to do it inside also. So definitely opportunities are limitless. If you are interested, at the end of the day, you should definitely go for it without an MBA or not. This is what I, from my experience, can tell you.
All right, thank you so much. Many individuals are confused as to what they should do after an MBA. What alternative avenues would you suggest for the same?
Okay, so it's actually the opposite. In generally, it's actually the opposite. A lot of people have an idea of what they want to do. This is how I've met people with. So they do have an idea of what to do. It's just that they don't have the right platform. Probably they don't know. Like for example, if they want to go for entrepreneurship, how to raise money for that, like how to get into venture funding or something like that. That would be a question. And if I want to get into a specific type of corporate, what is the skill set that I require to enter that particular field is the question generally. So when that particular thing happens, MBA is actually a very good place to have that platform, because once we do enter, we get a lot of exposure of every small bit possible. So in my experience, this is what I've learned. I got to experience every like domain in the in the best capacity possible, and then I was free to make my own choice that what I want to enter, if I want to go for entrepreneurship, if I want to go for corporate. So that was something that was on me. So it's generally not after MBA, it's before MBA that people are generally confused. Once you enter MBA, you get the right platforms, and it definitely makes it better for you as a person.
So now that you have explained what different things can people do after MBA and how they should, be try more things before MBA, we are
Yeah.
just curious of what you want to do after MBA since you're in the last year of your post graduation.
All right. So, since I'm already on the track to basically become a manager, so I through this journey, this was my idea. I wanted to advance my career into becoming a manager and entering a managerial role. What I'm looking forward, like I don't know. Like you'll have to wait for some time for me to tell you where I finally join, but like with respect to my corporate, I'm looking forward to basically leading diversified teams and trying to interact with as many people as possible in my corporate as well, and also reaching out to as many people as I can, creating an impact on that mass. Like I hope I'm able to make that change wherever I go. So this is the idea that I have for me myself.